First of all, I didn't set a red line. The world set a red line. The world set a red line when governments representing 98% of the world's population said the use of chemical weapons are abhorrent and passed a treaty forbidding their use even when countries are engaged in war. We, of course, discussed the appalling violence being inflicted on the Syrian people by the Assad regime, including the horrific chemical weapons attacks 2 weeks ago. I discussed our assessment, which clearly implicates the Syrian government in this outrage. The Prime Minister and I are in agreement that in the face of such barbarism, the international community cannot be silent, and that failing to respond to this attack would only increase the risk of more attacks, and the possibility that other countries would use these weapons as well. I respect, and I've said this to the Prime Minister, the UN process. Obviously, the UN investigation team has done heroic work under very difficult circumstances. But we believe very strongly, with high confidence, that in fact chemical weapons were used and that Mr. Assad was the source. And we want to join with the international community in an effective response that deters such use in the future. And I'm very mindful of the fact that around the world, and here in Europe in particular, there are still memories of Iraq and weapons of mass destruction accusations and people being concerned about how accurate this information is. Keep in mind, I'm somebody who opposed the war in Iraq and am not interested in repeating mistakes of us basing decisions on faulty intelligence. But having done a thoroughgoing evaluation of the information that is currently available, I can say with high confidence, chemical weapons were used. And by the way, Iran doesn't deny it. Even Syria doesn't actually deny that they were used, and that is what the UN investigators are supposed to be determining. And frankly, nobody's really disputing that chemical weapons were used.